Hello there and welcome to this week's edition of Super I, your television program that beams a searchlight on the ills of the society. I am Adenike Weye Ajiboye, and it's always nice to know that you are there to watch. Today on Super I, we want to take a look at the redesigned Naira Notes. Of course, it appears that this is the talk of the town. I mean, everybody saw the Naira Notes as launched by President Muhammadu Buhari and the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Of course, at this point, I should let us know that the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, announced the plan to redesign the new Naira Notes on October 26, 2022. And he stated clearly that they are introduced to replace the current 200 Naira, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes. Emefiele also said the redesign will take effect from Thursday, December 15, 2022, while existing notes would cease to be regarded as legal tender by January 31, 2023. And now today, to take a closer look at the topic of discussion, I have with me an economist, Austin Adigwe. Austin Adigwe, you're welcome to Super I.
Thank you very much, Nick. It's my pleasure.
All right, beautiful. Always nice having you on the program. You are an economist, and these new Naira notes is what Nigerians are talking about right now. A lot of people have even expressed different reactions in regards to the Naira. Some had also said that what they can see is recoloring and not redesigning of the Naira. And let me ask, how do you see this? What views do you share as an expert in regards to these redesign notes?
Okay, part of the regulatory responsibilities, or I would call it mandates, of the Monetary Authority, CBN, is currency management. So demonetization, which could come by way of redesigning the texture, the color of your currency and the security features, okay, happens to be one of the tools that Monetary Authorities uses to manage currency. So it is within the purview of Central Bank of Nigeria, okay, to opt for redesigning of the Naira. It's the mandate, it's the response. So they've not actually gone out of their way, to doing this. And I feel that for every monetary authority, you will also be concerned, okay, about the prospect of counterfeiting, which happens when you leave your currency for too long without changing some of the features, all right, which could be security features, okay, in the Naira notes. So for me, CBN has not done anything out of place by carrying out what the statutory role is under currency management.
All right, that's interesting, saying that it is still the prerogative of this Apex Bank to redesign the Naira. Yes. Now, let me also state here, for the benefit of my viewers, that major reasons given by the Central Bank of Nigeria are stated by Godwin Emefiele are four, and it is imperative for me to state them here. He said the currency change aims at the Naira note was redesigned to address the issue of individuals who have made currency fraud their main source of income. I hope you're taking notes, sir. Who have made fraud their main source of income, which means that people who have hidden money, they have stolen, for instance, would either find a way to change it by taking the money out, or would not need it given the change in the value of the Naira. The second reason was that the currency change also aims to deal a fatal blow to the growing kidnapping and ransom in Nigeria. The change in the notes, it also said, will aid in lowering the rate of inflation. And the last reason given was that the change in the Naira note is also intended to control the amount of money in a circulation. What do you make out of these reasons given by the CBN governor? Do not forget that they say the talk is cheap. Plus, it looks like a theory. How are we certain that practically all that has been highlighted by the Apex Bank governor will actually happen as said?
Okay, so those reasons are used. Some are very valid, while just one out of those reasons might not necessarily hold waters. Yes, redesigning a currency or demonetization is used to fight black money. You know, all these illicit funds that comes from illegal activities, crime and criminalities. Okay, so you also agree with me that for an individual to stack up huge amount of cash, okay, away from the banking system, okay, could also be troubling, because this could form the basis for terrorism financing and other forms of crime and criminalities. So he's right to say the redesigning of the Naira will help to fight black money, which means now that you're required to bring out this cash, okay, deposit in the bank, and withdraw at a certain rate that CBN will come up with. You discover that some might not be able to account for the huge sums that may be coming out from their own private holdings.
Okay.
So that is very correct. When you redesign your currency or you take out certain denominations from circulation, okay, you are actually fighting black money. Now, but the issue of inflation, all right, the issue of inflation will not hold waters, because currency is just one component,
okay,
of money supply. Okay, because you also have to look at, if you look at narrow money supply, which is your M1, you're looking at currency and demand deposit. Currency that is hoarded, that is not in circulation, cannot fuel inflation.
Okay.
But what we are saying is that that currency you're hoarding, you're taking out of circulation, okay, may endanger the system, because you might choose, it gives you a lot of leverage to do all sort of illegal activities. You pay with cash, you erase the audit trail. That's why it's not too healthy for, like, the amount they are talking about that is outside the banking system is scary. But in terms of inflation, it has no bearing on inflation. Though in the long run, if they are able to re-strategize, and like CBN is currently saying that the higher denominations will not be printed in high volume. If they're able to achieve that, okay, it will improve the banking culture of Nigerians. That ultimately will impact on monetary policies, because
when you said, sorry, when you said a banking nature of Nigerians, we help to impact on the banking nature of Nigeria.
Yes.
How do you mean? Because we need to explain in a
it's
simple term.
It's a long run strategy, but this is how it works. You see, it's convenient for people to make payments in cash, because you have those higher bills. If you're going to make payments of 100,000 for a particular transaction, that is just one pack of 1,000 Naira notes, so it's convenient. The seller can insist on cash, and the buyer can as well pay cash. I see people even pay cash for transactions as high as 5 million. That's because of the presence of the high denomination. Now, if you take out those high denominations, particular 1,500,
yes, and okay,
it makes it less attractive for people to thrive in cash. It becomes more convenient for you, all right, to route your transactions through the financial institutions,
which can be monitored.
Exactly. So there will be audit trail. Okay, there will be audit trail. So that's why I said, in my own view, when this Naira redesigning came up, I was not totally in support, because I felt would have achieved even greater milestone at no cost. All that was needed was phase out the higher denominations. CBN would have just said 1,000 naira note will cease to be legal tender January 31st. Simple, no cost to the government.
Okay.
And by March, 500 naira note will cease to be legal tender. Period. You have phased out 2 of your high bills. Ordinarily, taking out those 2 bills will mean that Nigerians will then begin to seek alternative payment system, which of course we have and is running. The electronic payment system is up and running. You could see POS operators everywhere. So hardly would you now find anyone that is completely excluded from banking services. So if you know that you're going to pay me 5 million naira, for instance, and I'm demanding for cash, the bank may not necessarily have 200 naira bills for that 5 million naira withdrawal. So you could still get 50 naira, 100 naira, 5 naira, 10 naira in that day. Thank you very much. So naturally, not even out of compulsion, out of convenience, you then prefer to transact through banks. So this is where I'm going to. When we now capture higher percentage of Nigerians in the banking system, whatever policy the CBN chooses in the future to implement, it will become more effective.
Okay.
Because again, we're running the cash economy, we're not running the credit economy. So that's why I said redesigning Naira has no bearing on inflation. Inflation, no effect. However, redesigning this Naira, redesigning this Naira and making it difficult for people to have access to the higher bills may encourage them to now start using financial services, which of course is what is needed to make our monetary policies more effective.
Okay, let me ask you a follow-up question, because while you were talking, you said government would have saved costs or saved money, and all they needed to do was just to withdraw the higher denominations, like 1,000 naira, and would have just continued that way. Do you think, or what, in your opinion, would be the reason for which the CBN governor or the CBN team went or took this line? Could it be that somebody is out to make money, or what could it be?
Well, you know, they have intelligence reports, so I may not be privy to what led
since you're not a security expert.
What led to this, but I'm just saying from the economic standpoint, the problem we have in this country.
Yes.
Okay, and again, central to crime and criminality is cash. That's the attraction. If you take out cash, okay, you would have dealt a huge blow on some of these social vices. Record that we just had a report that in Zamfara State, the kidnappers are already asking for the new note. You know the reason? Because they also understand that the 1,000 naira note somehow will find its way back to circulation. But if the 1,000 naira note is going off, 500 is going
gradually,
200 may even follow suit. Now tell me how someone is going to.
So basically what you're making us understand now, that the CBN team are actually going somewhere. They only started this way to be able to withdraw the higher or the highest denomination from the system.
Exactly. So CBN is doing it systematically now, not the way I suggested. So from the CBN governor's statement, you will see that he emphasized that the higher bills will not be in circulation in the same volume that
it
they
had
have
been
withdrawn.
Okay, it had been withdrawn.
So when you now find a situation where 1,000 naira notes are not readily available, okay, so you moves down to 500, and if they could also do same for 500 naira notes, definitely it will help the country in fighting the incidence of black money.
Okay, now let me also state here that the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, in October, if you can recall, told Nigerians that 2.73 trillion of naira of total 3.23 trillion naira currency in circulation remained outside the country's banking system, making it difficult for monetary policies to be effective. Do you think this new Naira notes will aid the effectiveness of our money policy as suggested or stated?
So it depends on how this new policy will be implemented, and the sincerity of the banking industry also to follow through. You see, what CBN governor was saying, okay, indirectly,
yes,
is that when you have quite a number of transactions that do not go through banks, whatever policies they pursue at the monetary level will be less effective. So that's what we're saying. Now, but again, building the banking culture of people doesn't necessarily stop at using all these coercive methods, just like what we're doing now, to achieve that. You should also look at your banking system. Why are Nigerians not, kind of having that confidence in our banking system? Because if I choose not to transact with banks, there is nothing you can actually do about it. I can actually do my transactions without routing it through the bank. So what is the reason, or what are the reasons for Nigerians choosing to still hang on to the old system of cash transaction than opting for financial services?
You know what they say about change.
So it could be charges. It could be the reliability of these platforms. It could be security of funds. We hear people talk about hacking of these ATM cards stolen, and your money is wiped out. So the financial system also needs to be sanitized, so that these payments platforms, these alternatives you're providing for Nigerians works. And wherever there are issues of what we call dispense error, you are able to resolve it immediately. It will not weaken the confidence
that people have
people, to still use those platforms in the future. So because you have instances where ordinary ATM dispense error, 20,000, 40,000, it may look small, but the percentage of that amount to someone's salary, okay, maybe telling a different story. So there's 20,000 dispense error, and it takes you 2 months to resolve. Such a person would rather not use the banks for that transaction.
Exactly.
So CBN needs to look at some of these alternatives. Yes, they are good, they are working, no doubt. But once there are complaints, how
do you resolve them immediately?
What is the turnaround time for resolving this problem? Because that could actually impact on the confidence of people to use banking services.
True. Let me say that you're very correct, because I had also been had such experience before. I tried to send money, and up till now, I have complained at different branches of the bank. Up till now, I don't want to even state the name of the bank, but they are my color. So that's the truth. Okay, our viewers, you're still watching Super I. Right at this juncture, we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll look at what the redesigning of the Naira actually mean to the masses, Nigerians. I mean, of what benefit will it be to you and I? So after the break, we'll look at this. Alright, viewers, you're still watching Super I. Many thanks for staying with us. I've been speaking with an economist, Austin Adigre, and he's still right here. Yes, he's going to answer all of the questions looking on your lips, and we will be doing the questioning today, as you asked. So now, my economist, you see, the policy of this Naira redesign has elicited a serious debate amongst economists, other policy experts. For many, it holds no significant economic benefits. I want to know, would you say for you it is a welcome development?
Well, I mean, for the act establishing central bank to allow such latitude of changing the look and feel of Naira, okay, that simply means that there are some economic benefits, no doubt. There are some economic benefits. For example, I understand Naira has not been redesigned for in the last 20 years, all right?
Yes.
The last 20 years, you know, it gives room for someone to have studied and perfected the art of counterfeiting this currency, which is not.
This was also part of the reason
yes,
for
which is not good. So that's a positive. Okay, that's a positive. Now, but I understand the argument is come down to the economic variables.
Hiking prices of
exactly.
You know,
what impact will it
food
have?
items and what have you.
What impact will it have on the general price level? Is zero impact, I've told you. However, through the improvement in banking culture, okay, and probably withdrawal of higher bills, we might begin to see more functionality of monetary policies,
Okay.
but not directly. Not directly. And again, you know, I've also heard people talk about new Naira, old Naira notes, one and the same. Some say it's bleaching, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's just been bleached. Okay, so Nigerians, we should not lose sleep, okay, over the look and feel of our notes. That's not the major thing. Short, beauty is not part of the qualities of
the quality of good money. Okay,
it's not part of it. So the beauty of money is the value.
All right.
What is beauty to a worthless currency? It doesn't make any sense. So, but I think also CBN in their wisdom has done one thing in redesigning this new note. Apart from the new security features, which has now been added. All right. What they've just done is to reduce the number of colors on the currency, because you know, if you are conversant with printing, you know, the more colors you have, the higher the cost. Okay, so why do you spend so much printing a note that is almost 700 naira per dollar? It doesn't make any sense. So by just making it very simple, using just one color, all right, it would have saved them. Anyway, by the time the cost of printing is made known, we'll find out if that actually happened. But what I see when I look at Naira notes is, okay, they've tried to do something to reduce the cost of printing, and of course you know that these notes will get into circulation, get back again to CBN as mutilated notes and printed based on their numbers.
Yes.
So using this template now simply means that it will be cheaper for CBN, or cheaper on Nigerians now, to get their currency reprinted in the future by reducing or dropping some colors.
Okay, well, when you talk about beauty, because a lot of us, even I myself, the way I see it is just like recoloring truly, but you've made us to understand that it is the security features that we should be more particular about.
Exactly.
So now, of course, you know, Nigerians, we love anything beautiful. I mean, if you want to know, just go on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, especially in Lagos, you see how the Owambe's tie their geles and the jewelries and all of that. Maybe that's from the angle they are looking at it. However, I don't know if you have seen it because you are in the system. Have you felt, I don't know what the texture is like, because another thing we can say is it might be they try to make it the standard, international standard, you know, the way the pounds, you know how pounds is, the feeling, the texture. We don't know if that's how it is. Have you seen it? Have you touched it?
Of course, I've not. I've actually seen it on
just like myself. That makes sense. All right then. So now let's look at this new naira. What does it mean to the ordinary Nigerians? I mean, ordinary Nigerian rather, and how will they impact basically on the economy? I mean, prices of, would it have any effect on the hike in prices of commodities and whatever? Because the way it is in Nigeria now, someone feels like running, and maybe that's the reason why Nigerians are, let me use the cliche that is being used now, they are jackbuying, you understand? So please, can you explain that to us?
Okay, so absolutely no effect. The inflationary pressure that we are experiencing in this country actually is cost push.
Okay.
It's not demand pull. CBN is making so much noise about liquidity, mopping up liquidity here and there. See, since May, they've been hiking MPR, okay, from 11%. Today we are at 16.5%. Far back in May, go and check the reason they gave for taking the MPR from 11% to 11.5 to 13%. They told us that they were fighting inflation, and they had a target that if they do that, inflation will react in this manner. But inflation has continuously showed that you are not applying the right recipe. Today we're talking about 21.09. In May it was 17.76. It shows you that the policies are not working, and it's only insanity that makes someone believe that the same system you've tried severally and failed is going to give you a different result. Look, we are facing inflation that is on the supply side. The hike in prices, okay, is attributable to the level of insecurity in the country, okay, which of course has created now food insecurity. Farmers are not going to the farm, so it means that the few ones that were able to cultivate, all right, in the previous year, all right, will definitely supply less than what you would have received in the total basket if all the farmers had gone to the farm. I'm just giving you an example. So is it redesigning Naira Note that is going to put more tubers of yam in the market? The answer is no. Again, you look at exchange rates. You look at your exchange rate, the continuous depreciation of Naira, which CBN has mismanaged, let's face it, is part of the statutory responsibilities to manage Nigeria's foreign reserve. When this CBN governor came, exchange rate was official. I think official exchange rate was 155.75.
Okay, yeah.
Today, the same CBN is pegging official rate as 440 or 430. So the difference between what Nigerians experienced in 2015 and what they're experiencing now is also the difference in your exchange rate. If I got $360 to bring in a particular commodity, and probably I sold it at 10 naira per unit, today I'm bringing in the same item, okay, at 700, 800 naira per dollar.
Serious?
So you're not going to expect me to sell it at 10 naira.
Not possible.
No, so it's not about liquidity. Then you look at energy costs, diesel, all this. You see, because we do not have an integrated transport system, our rail services is almost like non-existent. So we are still relying on these articulated road transport, these articulated trucks to move, convey goods. Yes, on the bad road.
Yes, that continue to, you know.
So to convey goods from one point to another point. Now, these heavy-duty vehicles run on diesel, and this government has no idea.
The resultant effect will always be on the commodities or whatever they are bringing in.
So if you move the diesel price from 217 to 800, you already know where the problem is coming from. So you a transporter would have incurred or spent 5,000 naira, okay, conveying goods down to Lagos.
So will you sell?
Now you're spending 40,000. Is it the new Naira note they are redesigning that will
have the effect?
So we don't like telling ourselves the simple truth.
And that's why I want you to tell them the truth.
Okay, so the simple truth is this, please. If they are not seeing it, I pray they watch this program and go back to basic economies. I'm not asking them to do so much. Inflation could be on the demand side or on the supply side. When it's on the demand side, it simply means that there is too much money supply in the system, and that these monies in the system are chasing very few goods. As a result, prices will go up. That's on the demand side. But on the supply side, we're not talking about liquidity. We're saying that cost of factor inputs have gone up. Manufacturers are even packing up.
Exactly.
Government of this country are the ones killing SMEs. SMEs are the engine room of every economy. Go and open a barber shop, and the next day you see local government, you see all sorts. Everybody coming for one payment or the other. They forget that this same SME they are struggling to kill is the same avenue that provides Nigerians employment. So I don't understand. So just know it that this inflation is on the supply side. CBN can raise MPR to 40%. We'll still come back here and discuss escalating inflation, because they are not just addressing the issues. They are not addressing the issue. So tell me how the Naira that has been redesigned will affect a transporter that is now buying diesel 800. Tell me how it will affect a transporter who will ply the bad road bringing goods to Lagos.
Or entrepreneurs, basically, like,
exactly.
It's serious.
And again, you look around, you hear, I hear a lot of comment about infrastructure. We've done so much on infrastructure, this and that. See, infrastructure is basic, and one of the fundamentals of infrastructure is to do what? Create efficiency in the system. When you create efficiency in the system, it rubs off on your prices of goods and services. For example, if you construct a 10 carriageway highway, for example, it simply means that you can move goods from the rural area to the urban centers with ease, all right? And you are able to do that at very minimal time. You have created efficiency. You have reduced diesel consumption. You've reduced all the bottleneck. You've reduced the risk of losing the products, okay? Maybe because of bad road and these trailers getting stuck on the road for days. You have created efficiency by just putting that road infrastructure. So we're able to move from one point to the other point, okay, at the speed of lightning. Perishable goods are able to move from where they are produced down to the urban centers.
Exactly.
Now, so what that would have done is, if this man uses 10 liters of diesel to convey the goods, and because you've done good road, he's now using only 2 liters, it will impact on the price. He won't be charging you
as much as
1 million to do so. These things are busy. So if you tell me that infrastructure is what you have borrowed so much to invest in, I'm not seeing it reflect in the price of goods and services. Okay, if you say, okay, it's power that you have given, you spend so much money on power, I want to see it reflect in the price of goods and services.
And that's why lots of Nigerians said the redesigning of the Naira and the development, it fell below the expectation.
You know, I've told you, it has no bearing on redesigning the Naira, like I said, is to fight black money. If you take it out of that, then you are just playing to the gallery.
And that reminds me, when you talk about black money, we need to you need to expatiate on what you mean by black money.
Okay, so black money consists of proceeds from illegal or illegitimate activities. Okay, such monies usually are received in cash, just like all this kidnapping. They won't ask you to transfer to the bank because
they don't want to be trailed.
So when you keep giving them 80 million, 90 million, 100 million ransom, what you're actually doing, you know, again, you're saving life because people are released to you, but you're also creating more problems because the same cash you're giving to them will be used to purchase more arms, will be used to finance other illegal activities.
Okay.
Will be used to recruit and sustain the same people that will cause more havoc in the system. So when you have this growing volume of black money in the system, it's always disturbing, it's always troubling.
All right, beautiful. Right about now, thank you very much. But I have to hold you on there. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll continue with the conversation. So stay with us. Well, so glad to have you back. You're still watching Super I, and I still have my guest, Austin Adigwe, an economist, looking at the latest developments in Nigeria, the redesign of Naira Notes. So, back to our conversation. Basically, from all that you have said, does it mean that there's no relevance to the redesign, especially when we consider how much the CBN must have used in achieving the project?
Okay, you know, we're talking in terms of the economic variables, all right? But you see, it has impact, though not directly, but we can't actually wish it away. For example, we're in the electioneering period, and you know that one of the basic problems we have now is vote buying.
Yes.
So how do you buy votes? It means you need cash, you need
and which they have starched.
Yes,
the politicians have.
So exactly. So which means that from the day you declare your intention to contest for this money back politics, politicians would have started stashing cash away. So I give it to the president, because what he has done to a large extent, all right, we check the incidences of vote buying. And look at what CBN is doing, which is the interesting thing. Now, for an individual, you can deposit only 50 million per month in an old account.
That's a new one.
5 million in a new account. So if you've started 1 billion naira away, it means you can only do 150 million naira before that 31st of July. Okay. Now, if you attempt, all right, to do multiple deposits with various banks, remember that your BVN is linked to those accounts. So the monetary authorities will be able to track you. And CBN is even saying that they will come up with maximum withdrawal limits. Now, to go above that maximum withdrawal limit will require you to fill out numerous forms that will be sent directly to EFCC and all the security
to chill whoever they feel they are suspicious.
So the moment you start making large withdrawals, of course, you know that the security agencies will
come after you.
Will come after you. Will be on your case, at least to know why you require that volume of cash.
Okay.
So with that, I give it to this administration. You just have to give it to them, because what they have done, if that is the only thing they want to achieve, okay, is to check the incidence of vote buying.
Now talking about that, because you brought it down now to politics from economy. quite interested because I was also going there. And now, if we must give kudos to the sitting government or the sitting president and his team that they've done something brilliant, something or what commending. The question is, could it be that it has a kind of political undertone when you look at it from the angle that they are the ruling, the All Progressives Congress, APC, is the ruling party, and it's possible that before they come up with this, they might have advised their own party members to have changed their money into dollars. So how do we now justify the reason which you gave?
You know, I won't want to ascribe political undertone to the resigning of Naira, because I did mention that it is the statutory responsibility of CBN,
yes.
And the Act did not stipulate when this must be done. So if CBN says this is the right time to do it, I'm only paraphrasing what the president said, that, you know, anybody who plans to rig election by through vote buying, okay, may have to do a rethink, and it's correct.
A rethink. What if they use dollars and pounds? Who knows? Maybe Nigerians during this election might be okay.
If they're going to use dollars and pounds, then the election becomes too expensive for them. Because let me also tell you that, you see, the whole idea of Naira depreciation, someone may also argue, is okay, get these dollars out, and then during inflation, during the election period, change the dollars back to Naira, where you have at least more money because of depreciation.
Yeah,
but now, if you're going to pay voters in dollars, then you are also going to spend money. You are going to spend money. And you know, with this awareness now, okay, the electorates are well informed.
True.
The danger is also there that even after spending all these millions, Nigerians may collect the money from you because it's their money and still vote whoever they want to vote.
Exactly.
So, with this voter education that is ongoing, and I mean, the government, I give them kudos. Whether you target political or not, the important thing is this particular move will check vote buying.
If not any other thing.
People start transferring money to individual voters. Then it means you've left a trail. If anybody is taking you up to know that you actually were involved in vote buying, then the evidence will be there now. Several bank statements, they will print it. You tell me why you're doing 20,000, 10,000 to all these people.
And they will be on your case like else exactly.
Definitely.
Interesting. Okay, right about that now, I want to ask you as an economist, what would be the most important aspect of what we should be telling Nigerians now in regards to this latest development?
Okay, so it is part of standard best practice everywhere. So CBN has not done anything out of place. Okay, the look and feel of the new Naira notes should be inconsequential. We should be more concerned with policies that will strengthen the Naira against other currencies, so that our purchasing power parity can improve. If 1 Naira is exchanging with $1, I don't care if the Naira note is black or true, like I'm putting on black, or white or true. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay. So, and if you do not have a bank account as we are speaking, please do yourself a lot of good. Get a bank account. Walk into any bank, open an account, and then lodge in your old note, because there is no currency swap. You're not going to any bank to give them old note and then exchange for new notes. It must be deposited into an account
for them to give you.
Okay, and from where you are meant to withdraw. Now, let us also encourage the process, because there can't be any meaningful development if we continue in this culture of cash economy. everything is done in cash. It takes away audit trail. It's time wasting. Let me just create a scenario.
Please do.
You are a seller, I'm the buyer. Yeah. Okay, so let's assume I'm coming to your premises to pick up an item. Incidentally, you have an account with Zenith Bank. I may also have an account with Zenith Bank, but we may never know this. Okay, so the first thing I do in the morning, I call you, I'm coming for this item, you tell me, okay, it's 1 million. So I go to the Zenith Bank.
And go and deposit.
To first of all withdraw
1 million.
The 1 million. Spend hours in traffic, on the queue to withdraw the 1 million. Okay, then the 1 million goes with me with all the risks involved down to your business premises. I pick up my item, I give you the same 1 million. All right, you will employ a cashier that will count the 1 million to confirm it. The cashier may not even be so vast in, okay, of course, if you don't have UV light, you might not even be able to dictate the fake notes. Okay, you spend another 30 minutes confirming the 1 million at your business premises. All right, then maybe in 2 hours time, your cashier will pick the 1 million with all the risk inherent. Back to where again? Back to Zenith Bank.
Where you could have just done the bank transfer.
Thank you, to go and load the same 1 million. And he or she is going to spend another 1 hour for the bank to confirm, then post. So the economy would have lost 4 hours of that day on that singular transaction. Meanwhile, you could just pick up your phone, your app. In less than 2 minutes, this transaction that I've explained is concluded.
But then again, you have to also understand that talking about online banking, there's a limit to what you can actually transfer a day and all of that. Okay, Austin Adigwe, because time will not permit, but let me just get your final words to Nigerians for us to wrap up the program.
Let's keep the hope alive. Like the popular saying, every Nigerian is going through a lot, including myself. So I'm not even in the best position to advise, but I would rather say, let's keep the hope alive. This country will be better.
And like the popular musician said, last everybody go chop a breakfast. All right, on that note, let me say many thanks to you for coming on Super I. Our viewers have been speaking with an economist, Austin Adigwe. Many thanks for coming. I hope when next to call you again, you always oblige.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, I think it's been this has been quite enlightening, hearing from an economist what the redesigned notes mean to us and the economy. All I can say is that all you need to do now, let me also state that there is a date for which these monies will cease to be a legal tender. And this is what I want to say. He said that the CBN governor stated that existing notes would cease to be regarded as legal tender by January 31st, 2022, which means that the new Naira notes also will, from December 15, 2022, this will be the money that they will be taking from you. So what does this mean? What this means is that, just like my economist has said, if you don't have an account, better go and open an account, because nobody is going to take it from you hand to hand. You will need to deposit the old Naira notes that you have with you into a bank account. So what we should be doing now is how we will begin to look forward to that date and ensuring that we don't have these old Naira notes with us any longer. Well, distinguished viewers, let me say this is where we're going to draw the curtain on this week's edition of Super I. And many thanks for watching, and do remember that you can watch these on our YouTube channel with other programs of Super Screen. Well, I'm Adinke Ajiboye, and it's bye for now.